So when I heard they were making a Venom film, I was really skeptical about it at first, especially after hearing that Spider-Man would have no involvement whatsoever in this film. But then we got the announcement that Tom Hardy was involved, and then Michelle Williams and Riz Ahmed, and it started to make me think that maybe with this quality cast, they could actually make it work. All that excitement, however, went away as soon as I heard the initial reactions, most of which were negative. But to be honest, it was probably for the best because I went into the film with lower expectations and I actually found it more enjoyable than I thought it would be. Eddie Brock, played by Tom Hardy, is a reporter whose life takes a nosedive when he interrogates the leader of the Life Foundation, Carlton Drake, during an interview. Having lost everything, he decides to uncover the truth behind Drake and his experiments with the help of one of the scientists working at the Foundation. It is there that he gets infected with the alien symbiote called Venom and becomes a prime target for Drake as he is eager to get it back. One of the things I notice about this film is the liberties it takes with its source material. One example is that the crash site in the film occurs in Malaysia, as opposed to something that was very reminiscent in the Spider-Man animated series that came out in the 90s, where the crash site was actually in New York. Now in the series that made sense because the titular character Spider-Man was in New York, and that made the story go by fairly quickly, as opposed to the film where we actually have to wait a while till the symbiote gets to San Francisco, which is the prime setting of the film. Now, besides that, I don't exactly know what reasoning they had to make the crash site in Malaysia. We do see that the symbiote goes from person to person, but now looking back at that, that really contradicts the hypothesis that Carlton Drake had, where the symbiote and the host must be a perfect match in order for it to survive. Another liberty that they took was fusing the Carlton Drake character with the symbiote Riot. Now in the comic books, Riot actually fuses itself with another person, not Carlton Drake, and I actually quite agree with this change given the limited amount of time you can tell the story in a film, and it also works perfectly because it makes Carlton Drake the primary antagonist of the film. I also like the liberties they took with Donna Diego, making her a homeless person, because that adds weight to the lab scene and actually makes the scene itself more personable for Eddie Brock. Now focusing on the tone, it was pretty uneven throughout the film. There were a couple of dark moments, especially with the unethical use of humans in the symbiote experimentation, and then when the Venom character would disembody someone that I thought was pretty dark, at least in my opinion. But then there were actually moments of humor that didn't quite fit with the overall tone of the film, especially when it came to the use of the Venom voice, which I actually quite enjoyed. However, I thought that they used it too much for comic relief as opposed to anything else. Having said that, I did enjoy the film, but like I mentioned in this video, there were a couple of problems that kind of overshadow the good. For that, I will give this film a 2C. So that's it for this video, guys, but let me know what you guys thought about the film. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What issues did you have with it, if any? Please let me know. I'm curious to find out what your thoughts are. Until next time, guys, peace out.